So today I'm going to be teaching you how you can make these Apple type animations in DaVinci. Literally, even a newbie editor can actually make these animations. They look tricky on the surface, but they are just so easy to make. So without any delay, let's start on this tutorial. So before I begin, I want to clarify one thing. I have recently launched my new website where you can buy a lot of cool animations, text animations, graphics, and sound design and LUTs, and a bunch more stuff. And I also plan on keep updating those plans with new effects and animations. So the thing is, the website is still young, where you can buy everything for $10 and then keep getting the updates. Don't get me wrong, the prices will change. I'm not joking around. So make sure that you get those discounted prices till they are available. So let's start this tutorial. First, we are going to be creating the swipe to answer phone call animation. This one. Okay. There are three tasks in this one. First, we need to make the circle and a phone call. Then we need to add the bezel, and then we need to add the text. And we are going to divide it into three parts now. Okay. Let's just take this one, for example. Okay. So what we have done is taken the adjustment clip. There you can see there are three adjustment clips. These two are meant for the movement of this. See, that's right movement. Like if you see closely, even the background is moving in this one. If I turn off this one, you will understand it more better. See, but with this, it gives me a dynamic look on the slide action. Okay, so this is nothing fancy. I have just created a dynamic zoom on a ease out, and then I like you can see here done something like this. This is a very big image. I just used this much part of it. Okay. We are going to be using another adjustment clip. Why did we use another adjustment clip? Because what I wanted was I want to dynamically rechange. Like I want to keep using them. Okay. I don't want to be just use them, make them once and then I have to recreate it. What I'm gonna do is put this adjustment clip in my hair and then I can like, take it out and use it anywhere. Okay. And it will automatically like sync to any background. It will give me the bezel and everything. Okay. So now let's understand how we created this animation. First, we're going to be going in the notes tab and then you can see it's a mess, right? You think it's a mess, it's a very difficult mess, right? It's not. You have to just think it in layers like you always do. And this is another layer and then we have this merge here and this is another layer. Okay. There are two layers in this one and we have connected them through merge. Okay. Now let's just take like this was the input that I got. This was the media. Like whatever the lower background is. And then I connected it with a chromatic displacement. So chromatic displacement you actually have to look for it in a app that is called as Reactor. It's like a free plugin so resources for DaVinci Resolve. It's like literally good. So how do you access it? Now you have to go on YouTube and download it from the Reactor YouTube channel. Like there is a one. Let me show you. Of course, I'm gonna list it in the description so you can like get it easily. Just download this one, this file. You have to like I think register it now. You register it yourself, then download this from Lua, and what you will be getting is something like this. Here open reactor. Now it's gonna give you like some time. It's gonna show you updates and everything, and then it's gonna open. Then you have to search chromatic abbreviation, chromatic displacement. In this case. Of course, there are like a lot of them that I use from this, so yeah, you can get a lot of them if you want. So this is the displacement node that you need for this effect to be applicable. Just install it; it will install. Then I think you have to reopen it. Sometimes you have to reopen DaVinci. Most of the case, you just have to like start. Okay. So let's start with this one. What I did is first created a background node and connected it to a rectangle. On this rectangle, I changed the width and height and made the corner radius something like this, so it looks like that apple-ish logo. Okay? Apple-ish. Then what I did is add a chromatic application, and then what I did is copy these settings. Okay, just look at them and copy them. Okay, The height needs to be 1.6, the refraction needs to be 3.6, the spread needs to be 4.33, and light power needs to be 10. Okay. Of course, you can play with the settings and all, but what I found very like useful was something like this. Okay. You get the bezel, you get the light, everything. Okay. And then I connect it to a edge detect so that I can get the whitish look on it. Okay. See, edge detect, you have to like decrease the edge width, brightness, gamma, and blur. These are all the only the like, all the settings. And it would be on RGB, so you just change it to this so that you can control the PC below. But that's your choice, of course. And you're done with the liquid UI. Okay, liquid glass UI. Now you are just doing what you normally do on DaVinci. You just add the text. What I did, I use the SF Pro font, regular size a little increased. I placed it here. Okay. Then I go bend on merge and made the apply mode on overlay. And here you go. You get the merge so that you can like always overlay. As I said, I'm going to make it so that you can use it multiple times. Okay. So I just made sure that it is on overlay. I could have like changed it to the color of the background, but it won't work this way if you want to like reuse it every single time. Then what I did is recreate this animation. How did I recreate this? I took a background, added an ellipse on it, okay, and then it merged over with another media, which is 512 and 512. See, the size matters a lot when you are dealing with DaVinci. We need to make sure that the size is always right. In our case, we need everything in 1080p, okay, 1080 to 1920. So I created this background mode, changed the color to green, and then I went and made this as a mask. The blue node. Whenever you connect something in a blue node, you get the mask effect. And if there is like multiple inputs in it, what you have to do is click Alt and then select, and you will get this small pop-up. You have to select which one you have to put. Then let's see what it did was take the transform and animated it. How did I animate it? I made those animation and then I changed the path. Yes. See. How did I control plus A? You can see it is simply control plus A. Control. I just remove it. Okay. Something like this. Okay. Control plus A, control plus T, and then I press S. Then increase it to 70 ish, something 70 in 70s. And then I just merged it over again with another merge and placed it here. Okay. And that's it for this one. This is then we just taking it out. And now whatever whenever I want to, I can like put it on anything and it will work. Okay. And the last thing is the adjustment clips. As you know, just a dynamic zoom, ease in, ease out, and just put it in this position so that you can get the smooth transition right. Let's begin with the next one. Now in this one, what you see is a pop-in effect with the bubble ish, okay, with the glass. So how did I create this one? Similar to the one that we saw before, what I did is take a screenshot of any text that I had. This one screenshotted, so I just placed it here. Then I like placed a solid so that it gives me some background to play with. Of course, I didn't needed it after I zoomed it, but what I am used to doing is putting these things after it. Like if I'm like doing it, if I need any space or anything, I just extend it with a solid color. Now, in our case, here you can see this is how it looks. And let's go with the fusion and see. This is all you need. Literally, this is nothing. Again, this is the same media one from the adjustment clip so that it affects everything below it. Okay. Then we made the circle. Okay. And then we animated the circle. And yeah, animated took some while, but you will understand it once you get a hang of it. See, the secret here is how we use the anim curves that is available in DaVinci. Okay, what you have to do to access it, right click on whichever term you want to do the anim curves on, and then you have to like go with the inserting. You can just find it in insert, or you can just find it in modify it. Okay, see here we have actually getting them. Okay, so what you have to do is animate them through anim curves. Once you click the anim curves, you will be taken to, or you have to like click the modify. Okay, in our case we got two. First is the width and second is the height. The path is not important, so don't involve height and width. What I did is paint it and made sure that both of them are equal. Then I created this. I use the source as transition. Okay, the curve is on easing. In and out, I used an elastic on the out version. Okay, and then I just played with the scales. So how do you like understand the scaling of this? Let me explain it. First one is a scale. Scale is how high or like how much bigger it will go. Okay? If it is the height, how much high the height will go. Like this much height or this much. It depends on that. Offset is from which point it will start. From it will start from here or it will start from here. If this much height it is or this much. So I'm trying to explain it in very simple terms, but yeah. It depends how you have to like use it in, of course. So once you get the hang of the offset like this, okay, then you will understand it. Then it is a scale, like how much is the maximum point you want to take it on. Okay, this much. No, I want to take this much. So now I know like it will jump this much. Okay. Then it is the time, how long it will take, and how much delay you want in the offset, like how later it should start. So in this case, it started here now because I changed the time offset. If you change the scale, you can like get faster or slower. In that case, we need it faster, so I made it slower. Decrease the amount. And similarly, what I did, I clicked on this mirror option, so it happens in the end as well. And then the last thing came was the chromatic displacement. Just like the last one that we created, this one is also the same. Okay. If we go in tools again and then we find the chromatic displacement, we decrease the height to 0.6, refraction to 0.292, spread to 7.87, and light power to 30. You have to enter these and you get something like this. Then, in our case, we use distortion softness on this one as well. It doesn't blur it at all because we needed the information. And then it is just the formula, like how much brighter you want it. And that's it. And you can like always make sure that you use them on any surface. If I just change it to anything else, because it renders it whenever you are. So let's continue with the third one. So I created the same everything by taking a screenshot of it. Here you can find the screenshot. And so let me explain how we actually make this one. Okay. So in our case, what we have to do is simply first make these assets. Okay. First, whenever I take these like animation and everything, what I do is first create the animation, first create the graphics and everything, and then I animate it. I don't just start animating them out right away. For example, I took the background here, then I placed the smooth zoom in and zoom out. What it is simply magic zoom, but I customize the settings. Okay. So for the text, let's just say text. You go with the text first. 731. I just wrote this text and then I took it to SF font and I used the compress semicolon. But it was not aligning with the new text, with the new timer that we have on the iPhone. Okay, because the shapes are now different, so I had to like go in the shading. The size, so the sizes were different, so I had to like make sure that they align with the new iPhone, new timer and all. Okay, so What I did is simply change the X and Y. I simply aligned it with the screenshot that I took. Okay, here. And screenshot. I just simply aligned it with this screenshot of my phone. Okay, and as you can see, it's like mostly it's aligned, but yeah, there is an option of changing it. So I made sure that it is also there. Then I simply put the swipe in effect, this one, swipe up, swipe up to unlock. And for this dots, like the dots in the SF compress font is different. So what I did, I simply had to go in the um, text node, and then what I did was simply went here, right clicked on here, and inserted a character level styling. And see here, I simply like selected this thing and change its font to SF font bounded right now. Okay. And then for the text, like even this text, what I did is add an emboss so that we can get a slight line here. You see this one, okay. And then we added an edge detect so that if I just see if I just turn it up, but I can get the little bit of depth in that. Okay. I wasn't trying to make it shine or anything. I was trying to get the depth of the center, because if you see in the logo there is a depth in the center. So what I do is like this. There is a little bit of glow, and you get that illusion of the depth. See, the minor details actually make the things realistic, not the, because you can have like not done anything of this sort in the template and still have gotten the result, but you would have said that I don't know, something is missing here. Something is missing. This is the thing that is missing. Okay. Then I simply put the transform here and swipe up. That's all I did. And for the keyframing, this is the keyframe I made. You can see simply this was the case. Then I simply did this much. Okay. And then I copied this. Okay. And pasted in the swipe up as well. The swipe up, you can see here. This also, this is the same transform. I just pasted it and I pasted in the fusion as well. And in this case, we use the fusion, not a background or something. Not like the before, like before we used adjustment clips, we used background because of the fact that this time it will be different. Okay. So what I did, simply put a background, merged it over, and put it in the full screen. Okay. Then what I did is connect it just similar to what we did before with the media one. It's simply the adjustment clip. So I just needed these circles in this one. I didn't need the background to be blurred. I didn't need them to like give me that shake effect. So yeah, I just created two ellipses, one here, second here, put it in our background, and then chromatic blurred it. And then in this case, what I did is change the uh, cutout mode. See, there is a small cutout mode here. You can just turn it off so you will get everything from below. But I didn't want to because I want to animate it later. So I put it on and I just got these circles. Okay. Of course, you can change the settings. As you can see, this is the setting I use in this one. So you have to experiment it a lot. And then what I did is simply added an XG glow because I needed a slight bit of glow on the outskirts, like I did with the timer and all. So just a little bit of glow here, but this one I needed a little bit denser. So you can see this is the settings I used. Okay, this is all. Then it is just a multi-merge connecting everything. Like a background. Okay, this background has a little bit of curve here, but what I did, I animated this curve. So then what I simply did is connected this background, okay, for the lower part, and simply I just get in like this in a rectangle so that we can get the shape. And then I just used another transform for this one. Okay. I created a merge, then I put it in background, then I put it in transform. Did the same here with a different merge. Okay. And then I attached everything
to this multi-merge. See this here, from this point we are getting the circles. Like you can see, this is getting the sun. This line is getting us the circles. This one, and what I did is simply the first background, this one that we created. Okay, I simply lowered its. See, yeah, this one. I simply lowered its blend so it doesn't have that much, and we can get a little bit of like a layer that is on the iPhone. You see the iPhone, when you swipe up, you will see that there is a slight bit of color distortion. Like there's a little bit of a layer here, light color. So that's what I did here, and then I put in a transform here so that I can push it up. And this is the same transform that I used in the text, or like the swipe up to unlock, or the timer. Okay, then I simply media out, and here you go. You created this one. Now the second part is simple. Actually, you might think this is the very hard part, but it is not actually. What you have to do is simply put them, first of all, like of course what I did is simply put them all in the locations they are. Okay. For that, like let's start from the below. This circle and then the logos there. As you can see, there is nothing of. Okay. This is a caution blur, right? And this is the lower part. Now you will say that this is again a mess, but you can see this is not a mess. This is just the same thing that we are doing from start. Okay, a background or a rectangle. This part is the one that is handling the lower. Like if you have to use the lower part, or you have to use the shape. Okay, in that case, this is giving us this thing. Okay, then we use a chromatic abbreviation. Again, these are the settings. You can copy them, and cutout mode is on this one also, so that I can get this cutout, and then I connected it to the edge node. Okay, and make sure that you just mask everything out, because edge detect does something like this if you don't mask it. So you have to like mask it and put it in a blue blue pattern. You just click alt and just click it, and then you press the blue one, the effect and mask. Okay, we have the background, we have the chromatic abbreviation, chromatic displacement, abbreviations. All out and chromatic saturation change. I change the cutout mode, I change the settings, and it was done. The background is created. Now what is left is simply putting all of these images together. And to get these images, I simply use Figma, because Figma is the best when it comes to this image and all. I simply created these images in the same. I just exported them in the same frame enough. So then I can just put a transform on them. Okay, and put a transform on them, same size and everything, and multi-merge them, so that it comes something like this. But in our case, this is, I think this is below, but when I merge it over, I get something like this. We just created the line here. The line is here. Then I took the output and connected it here, and there we go. You get the merge like this, and then you just do the you can also like color grade it so that it looks good. Now this one looks better. Was it automatically like they put them in a more synchronized way? Okay, but I'm gonna use this one. Okay. And then we have the same app. You can get them in this. Like I created a small Apple package here. You can see in my assets, and it has like all the assets, like NIR and everything, like the clocks and everything is there. Everything to be like whichever I've used or I'm using. These are all screenshots. They are not animated, or I was planning on animating them, but that's a pain. So I have these icons as well, already made, already cut it out. So I just have to use and similar with this. Yeah. After this, what we had left was simply aligning them. Simply I aligned every single one of them, and then I placed them one or two like seconds later, so that I can get the delay in it. Okay. the delay is put it by this. Then the last part is the effect panel. There you have to search the DVE effect. Okay, so DVE effect, what it does is simply like, if I would put it here, this one, it just gives us something like this. Okay, then you have to like reposition everything. The border blend will be there, you have to decrease it. You have to like put the position back here and the Z position here, and then you have to again use the NM curves, modify with NM curves. Okay, but you can't like access the modifier here, so what you're gonna do is simply take it to this part, and then on this right click, modify with NM curves. You have to go to modifier, then you have to do the same thing, easing and play with the timing and all. In this case I just played with the timing so it is fast like this. Okay, and why did I made it like this? Good question. So that I can simply control C and select all of them and control V, the fusion effect. When I did that, everything automatically got the same effect. So simple, you didn't have to do anything in this, and everything was like aligned and everything. This effect was already made. I don't have to do it. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, and in this case this is the button, I guess, like actually we can call it button. We're turning it on. So how do we create this one? Very nice question. This is nothing but simply a fusion actually. Fusion comp and create this using a rectangle. Okay, and another background, changing it all merge, and then putting it in two parts. First is the background, of course. This is a background which is going to be changing, okay, the upper one. Then we are going to like cut it out. Right, this is the settings. But in our case, what we have to do is animate them, so that when it is like opening up, when it is like uh, zooming in like this much, okay, this is happening, right? So we have to like animate it like this with this setting. Yeah, like this one. These are the settings that I used. 3.9 minus 0.34, 4.72, 5.67, minus 741.46 for the light angle. Then I scaled it as I made sure that it is scaled smaller, because we need to like see this part, right? So how much small we take, how the more better it looks. So I scaled it down. Then I use the distortion softness. Then I use the distortion softness. Then I use the fallout and fall it. And I got it. Simple. Fallout gain actually gives us a little bit of glow type-ish effect, so I use that. Then I added a drop shadow. The only reason I cut it out was so that I can add a drop shadow here, and then I can like, take this effect and merge it like this, and then I have to just make sure that all background is this node. Okay, so we need this one in the foreground and this one in the background, and I got this. Okay, and then you can guess it. Simple video. I hope you like it, and I know it is a little bit hard to understand, but I think I did a pretty good job and making you understand this one. So make sure to like it. Make sure to check out the website. Make sure to hit that subscribe, because I will be posting more videos that will help you when you are using DaVinci Resolve. And let's see you in the next video.